We got fight news all over the place in both boxing as well as the UFC. Hey man, you know what? I'm not even really feeling this no more. I'm done. Call it a night. Who you thought I was? Vontae Davis? Nah. This episode 6 of the K-Will Show. Let's get to business. Oh, what do we have here? Thanks to all the feedback of the great fans of the K-Will Show, the old studio is definitely getting remodeled. Meanwhile, we have this brand new backdrop. No more bed. Ooh, look at my background. It look nice, huh? Y'all like this? Y'all like this? Huh? Now this story might be one of the strangest stories that I've ever seen in professional football or professional sports in general. Veteran, and I stress veteran, and now former Buffalo Bill Vontae Davis decided to hang up the cleats at halftime of his game between the Buffalo Bills and the Los Angeles Chargers. The former two-time Pro Bowler released a statement at 3 o'clock, which was during the second half of the game, stating why he decided to make the decision that he did. He basically said that he holds himself to a higher standard, such as many other professional athletes do, and mentally and physically, he didn't feel like he was in the game anymore. After a drive in the second quarter, he told the coach that he was done, and he sat on the bench for the rest of the half. Now this is breaking exclusive footage, not seen on any other sports channel, exclusive footage of Vontae Davis leaving the game at halftime.
Like, ding, 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 ding. I quit. Everybody, excuse me. Got a quick word with you. Kiss my ass. Can you type a memo of that and send it around?
As a ball player, this is completely against all the rules of the locker room. Football is a dangerous sport, and you have to sacrifice a lot. I mean, I'm talking family time, time with friends. You have to sacrifice a lot to be successful in this game. If I had a teammate that wasn't in the right mindset going into a game, I definitely wouldn't want him on the field either. Because if he isn't doing his job, it's gonna reflect on the rest of the team, and it also can get a lot of people injured, including himself. So if he didn't come into the game with the right mentality, then I can respect that. But bruh, who retires in the middle of a game? Primetime Deion Sanders said it best during this segment on the NFL Network.
So you know my mind is imaginary. I start thinking stuff like, so what's your wife say? Did you call your wife and say, baby, let's go? Well, baby, it's a game going on. No, baby, let's go. Did you leave with your uniform on? Did you shower? Did you take your time in the shower? Did you bathe?
The worst part about this infraction is that Davis signed a 1-year, $5 million deal with Buffalo before the season started. So currently Buffalo is in talks of trying to recoup a lot of that money, including 15/17 of a $1.5 million signing bonus that he signed in February. Needless to say, Buffalo was not very happy about how this situation turned out. This past Saturday, boxing fans were treated to a super fight in the second installment between Canelo Alvarez and Triple G Gennady Golovikin. Golovikin and Canelo met for the first time last September in a fight that ended in a controversial split draw. 2 of the 3 judges on Saturday scored the fight 115 to 113 for Canelo, while the other judge scored the fight 115 to 115 and even split at 6 rounds apiece. Albeit a classic match, an argument could definitely be made that Triple G won this fight along with the last fight between the two, or at the very least another draw. It could also be argued that Golovikin won both of the last fights, although the first fight ended in the controversy and this fight was very close throughout. With boxing being such a subjectively judged sport, it's always in the air, and controversy is always apparent in a boxing contest. The fight was action-packed from the go, as Triple G challenged Canelo to fight him aggressively in this fight. Canelo would answer the call and come out very aggressive throughout the fight as he took control of the first 6 rounds. Although Canelo is the younger of the 2 fighters, however, as in any classic, Golovikin would answer back in the second half of the fight, coming out aggressive as he seemed to out-cardio Canelo, who started showing signs of fatigue throughout the second half. Going into the 12th and final round, many fans thought that Triple G had a chance to win this round as well as the fight. But as we know, the decision would go to Alvarez at the end of the fight, winning 2 of the judges' scorecards. In my opinion, Triple G asked for a fight and Canelo brought it to him. This really was Triple G's fight to win, and he didn't take full advantage throughout the contest. Canelo is typically known for being a more calculated fighter, and Golovikin usually does well with fighters who choose to go heads up with him due to his striking power. By adjusting his fighting style, Alvarez clearly showed signs of fatigue throughout the second half of the fight, and it was clear that the first half push took a lot out of him. With that being said, however, he was strong enough to finish the fight strong and finish out the win, becoming the new middleweight champion. Triple G and Canelo will likely become one of the more popular rivalries of modern boxing, and I do expect a trilogy to come out of this fight. These fights not only bring in big gates, but more popularity to a waning sport in boxing, which is typically surrounded with controversy throughout. Comment down below with your opinions on the fight. Who do you think won, Canelo or Triple G? One of the most controversial figures in mixed martial arts, Jon Jones, has recently been suspended by the United States Anti-Doping Agency for 15 months for a violation that he had back in 2017. Jones was suspended for testing positive for metabolites of anabolic steroids back in July of 2017. USADA chose to make the suspension retroactive, meaning that Jones has already served 15 months of the sentence to this point. Jones has a very checkered past as far as suspensions go in his history in the UFC, and this particular violation could have given him a maximum ban of 4 years. Jones said his heart is filled with gratitude and appreciation. Greatness is what I'm chasing, and the path to reclaiming my throne is now officially open. Comeback season begins now. UFC has a pay-per-view event planned in November of this year. However, UFC President Dana White says that Jones possibly can return in 2019. The details behind this case are very fluid as we speak, but the arbitrator found that Jones never knowingly took the steroids that were found in his system after his fight against Daniel Cormier back in 2017. White also said, "The science completely supports the finding. The science doesn't lie, so I look forward to getting him back early next year." Throughout the whole process, Jones maintained that he was completely innocent and did not take any steroids on purpose. He did, however, admit to using illicit drugs like cocaine prior to the event and after the event as well.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Initially, Jones was sentenced to an 18-month suspension. However, Richard McLaren, an anti-doping expert, ultimately reduced USADA's recommendation to 15 months after he found that Jones had no intention of actually taking the drugs found inside of the test. To this point, Jones is arguably the greatest mixed martial artist of all time, but he has also had a rocky past in his history of the sport. He served a 1-year ban suspension in 2016, which he revealed to be from a tainted sex performance pill. We won't go into that too much. In 2015, the UFC stripped Jones of his light heavyweight championship at the time after he was involved in a hit and run incident in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Jones chose to take both of these cases to arbitration, and although he was suspended both times, their opinion was that he never knowingly took any of these drugs. With big fights coming up for the UFC, including stars such as Conor McGregor, Khabib Nurmagomedov, and possibly Jon Jones or even Brock Lesnar, the UFC stock is definitely going to take a spike after finding out this news. Like I say always, fam, big things coming with the K-Will Show. We're getting bigger and better. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell down below to get more notifications on my new videos that come out. It's the K-Will Show. I'm out. See y'all next week.